Hey, now welcome. You are listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, our favorite radio station. And we are creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and one dime at a time. And that means you. Okay, I don't know where to get started today. There is so much to talk about. Light is here with me on the Millionaires Roundtable. And good day to you, Light. We have,
Thank you.
We got to get some stuff out of the way. This is award season. I have been talking about award season off and on over the past week or two. And I'm going to talk about, clothing and, how to, dress, how to look good on a budget, beauty on a budget. I'm going to talk about that. But, we have to talk about what happened yesterday.
What happened?
What happened was, what happened? Oh, my goodness. Okay.
But there are so many points in which a lesson can be learned.
Okay.
So I don't know how you want to approach this, but I'm with you all the way. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, somebody got smacked on live television for talking about somebody else's wife. And, immediately I started getting text messages from folks and phone calls. And, there are some opinions about whether it was right or wrong. And although I do not condone violence, I certainly understand what happened and why. Moreover, as you know, we are dealing with a lot of people that we know, who we love, family members, friends, very close family members and friends who are dealing with cancer and who have lost hair. And just this whole entire pandemic, has been a health struggle. So I guess, to speak about someone's head, a woman's head, I just think that as a man, you do not talk about a woman's weight. You don't talk about her head. And if you do that, I don't know what's going to happen to you. Well, we saw what happened. That's where I'm going to sit with it. And I imagine my husband would have probably done the same thing.
Well,
You said, yeah.
There's so many things about this. One, I can't even imagine what the comedian was thinking. Not homeboy from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, not parents just don't understand. There's nothing about the younger Will Smith that says that he was even capable of something like that.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about comedians is sometimes they work in a vacuum. They work in these little backwards clubs. And I've seen that comedian work in clubs with his notebook and his stool, and he's testing jokes out to see which ones work and which don't. He's crossing them off as he goes along. He's checking what worked and what didn't. And so when you're working in a vacuum, it's really hard to understand the impact that what you're saying will have. I mean, case in point, homeboy that, pretty much destroyed Bill Cosby and sent him to jail. But not that he didn't deserve to go. I mean, that's a whole nother topic and a whole nother set of circumstances. However, with this particular ordeal, there are writers, in addition to a comedian, who steps on stage for an award show, specifically him, because he's worked with those comedy writers when he's hosted the Oscars before. So it could have been a writer. It could have been a bunch of them that thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And the truth is, that comedian, he executive produced a documentary on hair, on black women's hair specifically.
Right.
I don't know if that was, something he wanted to do, or they just gathered him up at the last minute and said, hey, we need your help making this happen. But I would have thought it was something that was near and dear to his heart, since he spoke so passionately about it when he did the documentary. But hey, he had to pay the piper, because that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is not Will Smith.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm not going to say the bigger lesson, because you are absolutely right. I said something before.
There are many.
Yeah, there are many, many lessons. One of them, and I'm just going to say this again, I said it already. If you are a man, you do not talk about a woman's weight or her hair. Period. You just don't do it. I don't, and you definitely don't do it in front of her husband. Do you think any man could talk about my weight or my hair or anything about me in front of Demetrius?
No ma'am.
Okay. Now,
No, ma'am.
he will get on a female if he feels like I'm being attacked. He'll be like, wait, hold on, slow down. But a man, Yeah, it's just pretty shocking. Lots of
Definitely shocking.
lots of water
Definitely
cooler
shocking.
conversations. I got several friends in corporate America trying to hold on to their jobs because people of other cultures and colors are coming up to them, asking them what they think. And
what's amazing? Do I have time?
absolutely, yeah. You got
What's amazing is I'm pretty familiar with Will. He's like my big brother, and he's very smart, and he's very I don't want to use the word calculating, but what I mean by that is he's probably thought of every way that he could handle something before he does it. So he plans.
Yeah.
If he felt like in that moment there was some other way to impactfully let this man know that he is way out of bounds, he would have done it.
Right.
And that was his solution. And I hope that this morning he feels good about having protected his woman.
Hold on to that thought. Hold on right there. Hold on.
Give yourself the gift of wealth with no limits. Lynn Richardson and New Wealth University is giving 50% off on the Platinum Wealth Ambassador Program. The Platinum Wealth Ambassador Program will give you 2 full years of unlimited access to all of Lynn's online classes, books, boot camps, master classes, and webinars. So, give yourself the gift of wealth with no limits with 50% off on the Platinum Wealth Ambassador Program, available on lynnrichardson.com.
Let's talk about real estate, real estate, real estate.
Hi, I'm financial expert Lynn Richardson. You've seen me on Good Morning America, The Breakfast Club, and WVON. I'm so excited about sharing with you the Home Buyers Club. It's time for you to get the home of your dreams. No credit, no problem. Low credit, no problem. No down payment, no problem. I am excited about you getting a piece of the American dream. Join the Home Buyers Club today.
So what's the action of the day? What's the word of the hour? I would say that the action of the day is for each and every one of us to take an inventory of ourselves, what we say about others, and what we would want to be said about us. The word of the hour comes from Ephesians 4:29. It says, "Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear." And I just have to say again, a man, you don't talk about a woman's weight or her hair, and that really is it. There is no other way to unfold that concept. It's almost like it's just a social It's like opening a door for a woman, or opening a door, or pulling out her chair. It's just one of those things that I think comes along with etiquette, respect, and courtesy. And I think we've all learned a very valuable lesson. We've all learned a very, very valuable lesson as a result. Don't turn that dial. We have to take a break. We'll be right back. WVON.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I'm your host, Lynn Richardson, and we are creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and one dime at a time. And that means you. It's Monday Madness. That's what I'm going to call this that we're in right now. Like, you had such a great point about this whole incident.
Yeah, and I think, he, as I know Will, he really maps things out in terms of what's the best moves to make and what's going to be most effective. And as I said before, when comedians work in a vacuum, they don't know the impact that they're making with the words that they're putting together so haphazardly to get a laugh. And unfortunately, it may not have even been that comedian's words. There are writers that are backstage writing these jokes. And as a responsible member of the entertainment community, sometimes you have to say, no, that's too far. I'm not going to go that far. But because of who he is as a comedian, he's a risk taker. So he went out there and he risked it, and he paid the piper for it. Now, I did hear on the news last night, of course, LAPD was basically, hey, we're aware of what took place. If anyone wants to press charges, let us know. But, the comedian declines to press charges, and rightfully so. So to me, that's a clear indication that he understands he got what he deserved in that moment. He went too far. And even when he tried to say on the broadcast, it was a joke, he didn't let it in there. It was a joke. He still had to be told, do not do that again.
Yeah. No, it's a lot happening around the way.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, a lot happening. If we're ready to change the topic. So I just ran across some good news that Nike pledges $140 million to Black community over the next decade. So they're giving away money. Some of the organizations, NAACP Legal Defense Fund, Black Girls Code, Black Girls Ventures, and Black Voters Matter, for the next 10 years, they'll be getting some money from Nike, which is exceptional. They're also agreeing to contribute an additional $2.75 million to help 44 local organizations in 7 U.S. cities, including New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Portland, and Memphis. And their purpose is to move the world forward, breaking barriers and building community to change the game for all, which is awesome. Nike's contributed $16 million in 90 local and national groups aimed at boosting economic empowerment, social justice, and educational innovation during the last 20 months. So they've been busy during the pandemic. They've been giving away money and making announcements of $5 million investment this month alone to help 10 national organizations. Big Brothers and Sisters of America is one of them. So big up to Nike for taking such a huge stand. And any other companies that are doing the same thing. It's about time. Let's give to the community. They are in need, and we are all supposed to be of service. Is that not right?
Yeah, let me tell you. Is any of this Nike money specifically coming from the Jordan brand? Do you know?
Well, I do see him in the photo, so
okay.
I can imagine he and his team are probably spearheading a lot of what is being done. I can only hope, but I will say that brand Jordan is not specifically named in this article.
Okay.
Yeah. However, he and his team are a part of the photograph that has been taken.
Oh, so that's excellent. All right. Well, they weren't specifically named, but hopefully that means that there are elements of that brand and the profits from that specific brand that are being, given. Now, what do you think these organizations are going to do with this money? Like specifically? Because, I love to hear, money is being given, but for what? And what is going to be the specific outcome? What do you think?
For me, I would like to see them use the money to advance our Black and brown young people in STEM. I'm a firm believer that if, in fact, you show a child the way to go, they will know. A case in point, when kids live in homes where, people are doctors or people are, teachers or people, whatever it is, they then believe that they can accomplish that. And now whether they become a doctor or not is a different story, but at least they know that it's an option and they feel equipped in order to do so. And so for all of these kids who we want to see compete in the tech world, we need to give them a blueprint as to how it can be done.
That's really good. We talked about, education. I think you said something at some point, or I heard something about education innovation. And that's been a, term that's been out there. And my prayer is that innovation includes financial education as well. So yes, STEM, but also financial education. As a matter of fact, I just saw something that says that there's a Florida law requiring financial education completion prior to graduating from high school. And interestingly enough, one of the subjects in the financial education course is taxes, which, that's huge, right? Like I think that's big. And, I've always said this. I think people should start learning the tax code in kindergarten. Let me tell you, you go to school, kindergarten, you learn your ABCs, you learn the sounds, you put the words together. Now you can make a sentence. You start learning how to count. And as soon as you know what numbers are, you start learning the tax code. And you go home and you tell your parents, you in kindergarten, Mom hired me to work in your home-based business so you can get up to $12,500 in tax deductions. If we just started to be, that's a real simple concept, and you bring home, the teacher sends the child home with the homework and the IRS tax code, where it shows them what to do, and they go on and sign up for a class at New Wealth University. The parents, right? And as a matter of fact, we're laughing, but that actually is a good strategy. We need to start thinking about that. But no, I am excited. And I remember my youngest daughter. She came home so frustrated. I think it was 8th or 9th grade. And it was 9th grade. And she just said, Mom, I hate algebra. I have no idea why I'm even learning this. I'm never going to use algebra. She said, and Kennedy, she said, I need to learn how to do my taxes. I thought, oh, God. I was like shaking my head. Like this child right here.
Just ahead of the curve.
She wanted to learn how to do her taxes when she was 13 years old. I was like, okay, I guess she's been listening to the Millionaires Roundtable.
Isn't that something?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And of course, seeing you do it, they know that they can.
Yeah.
It's within their grasp.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you something. So, no, this is exciting. We know that there are so many things happening out here. It's Monday Madness, but you know what? The harvest is here and the time is now. And God is still on the throne. And everybody, just love everybody. Okay? Don't turn that dial. We have to take a break. We'll be right back. WVON.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I'm your host, Lynn Richardson, and we are creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and $1 at a time. And that means you. Yes, it's Monday Madness, and there's a lot going on. We have quite a bit to cover today, like here on the Millionaires Roundtable. And, it's interesting because these conversations could go anywhere. And I think it all comes back to our well-being and our ability to stay on track, to focus on generating wealth and understanding that wealth generation and this whole idea of, creating millionaires one day at a time, $1 at a time, one dime at a time. Well, we just saw two millionaires have it out on national television. And at the end of all of that, we still have to focus on love, and we still have to focus on our business. And our business is, each and every one of us doing what we can to get to the next level. Home ownership is still something that is kind of up in the air right now. The real estate market, interest rates. Like you said, you had something you want to share about that.
Well, you know what? You and I, we actually have two friends who have worked their way through this ordeal. And, as I'm thinking about it, when they talk about the shortage of homes and why the prices are being hiked up, it's actually this pandemic coming out of it with however many things are still left in those big crates by the water that, the people who work there are unwilling to unload. There's no room. There's a couple of wigs that a friend of mine was trying to get and she can't because they're stuck on some crate that came in from China that's been sitting there for however long.
Wait, did you say some wigs are stuck on a crate in China?
Yeah.
Help us, Jesus.
Not in China, from China.
Oh, from China.
So they're stuck here with no way of being unloaded because there's no room. And you and I know this because when we both went to get new vehicles, they didn't really have new vehicles. They wanted to sell us used, older model vehicles. And this epidemic is happening across this nation and probably in other countries as well, where what you're looking for you can't find. So now you have to take an older model. An older model doesn't mean that it was used, but oftentimes in every sector, there are problems. We can't even get woolite. Do you know, it just so happens that I ordered some woolite on Amazon so long ago, and I, not even knowing that it was a problem when I ordered it. But if you try to get woolite in a store, it's very difficult. None of the major stores that normally carry woolite have it. So all of that to say, now here we are with even the items that it takes to make a home, wood and wire and, electrical needs, they're all running low. And so for homes, instead of building a lot of new ones, now people are trying to move up and out because the housing market is bananas right now. So we have two friends. We have one friend who was looking for a home. He's selling his home, so he's making a lot of money. But now the home that he wanted to purchase was 1.4. He really wanted it. He said to the real estate agent, talk to them, find out what it is that they really want. And they said they really wanted 1.7. So that's $300,000 more than what the house is actually worth. However, in order for him to guarantee that he would get it because everybody is in bidding wars, he offered 1.7 and he got the home. But he paid $300,000 more for the house. So already he's paid more than what it's actually worth. And then we have another.
Wow. That's a big markup. I mean, I don't want to interrupt you. Hold on to that next thought. But you just can't skip past me on that. And I know who you're talking about. Of course, we're not going to say who it is because we're not going to expose other people's business. Now, maybe he'll come on the Millionaires Roundtable and share why he did that. But I know exactly who you're talking about. And he is our friend. And he is famous and he's a millionaire. And he's actually doing very well for himself. And, I'm so proud of him. And when you all called me to ask me about the specifics of the house. I think he wanted to just confirm something with me. And I guess I am the group financial expert for the whole community. Anytime your friends have a financial question, I'm the person. I just get these calls all day, every day, or whatever. Of course, I love it, and I'm always happy to serve. I did not know he paid, when you all told me the price, I didn't know I was like, oh, that's a great price. I didn't know he paid $300,000 over value. Wow.
He sure did. And he's happy because he lost out on a couple of homes because he didn't go up. He didn't bid higher as the people who have been out there. See, once you've been out there and you've lost the opportunity for a couple of homes, you learn really quickly, okay, if I really want this, I've got to show the seller that I'm interested, that I'm serious, and that I'm going to go through with this. And I think he has like a 20-day escrow, which is great, which is crazy in itself. But then we have another friend who's been traveling, very famous, very well known for what it is that she does. So she does a lot of traveling. And so she's been trying to purchase this home here in Los Angeles, California. And it's been very difficult because before she could even think about what she's going to bid, somebody already bid and bought the home.
Ooh,
so by the time she
wait,
gets her bid in.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. You know what? The harvest is here and the time is now. I got to hear more about this. This is getting juicy.
Let's talk about real estate, real estate, real estate.
Hi, I'm financial expert Lynn Richardson. You've seen me on Good Morning America, The Breakfast Club, and WVON. I'm so excited about sharing with you the Home Buyers Club. It's time for you to get the home of your dreams. No credit, no problem. Low credit, no problem. No down payment, no problem. I am excited about you getting a piece of the American dream. Join the Home Buyers Club today.
Okay, it's Monday Madness. Yes, this is juicy. We got a friend who's traveling, wanted to buy a house, tried to put the bid in, and while what happened here?
I mean, sometimes you want to think about, okay, this house is worth this much. This is what I'm going to, but before she could, by the time she thought about it and got her bid in, it had already had a bid that had been accepted. So the house was sold.
Oh, my goodness.
And what she was running into is, people don't want to sell a home to someone who hasn't seen it. Because I don't know about Chicago or anywhere else, but in Los Angeles, you can back out of a sale, up until the last minute. If you don't want to purchase that house, you don't have to purchase it. And so I guess they were afraid of her backing out because she hadn't seen it. So she's missing out she's missed out on 3 other opportunities. And she's just like, oh, my goodness, I had about $1.8 million to spend, but I'm really thinking I'm going to rent something until this housing market slows down a little bit because it's so outrageous. And, people all over are really experiencing this and, quite frankly, getting discouraged. The housing industry is of course seeing a rise in demands for homes, and yet there aren't enough to fit all the buyers. So hence the available homes are going out for incredibly high prices. And that's just another thing that people are facing, including bidding wars. So for a first-time home buyer, this is like going to buy a shirt, and then all of a sudden you see the price tag on the shirt, and then they tell you that it's 3 times what the price tag says. You're like, what? It becomes really scary. It's like, what is it that we do? Now, we just talked about our friend paying $300,000 more when, across the country, it looks like most sales are increased by about 50,000. So his markup was just crazy.
Yeah,
so,
I guess when you're if you're buying a $300,000 home and you pay $50,000 more for it, so you can make sure you get the deal, you're talking about a whole new ball game when you're talking about a $1 million home or a $2 million home. But those numbers are just really big to me. That's, and right now in the gated community that we live in, they're building 85 more homes. And I want to get a couple of them. Because, yeah, that sounds crazy, right? Like you want to get a couple of bags of oranges or grapes or something. Yeah, no, I want to get a couple of them because the price right now for a home of that caliber with the view of basically the entire Los Angeles area, the mountains, we can see the city. I mean, it's just such a great view. But first of all, they're only releasing one home at a time in the subdivision. It's not like going into a regular subdivision or a new home, community, and you see the whole map with all the lots, and you say, "Oh, I want this one." No, they're only opening up 2 or 3 lots at a time, and every time they open one up, it's basically you have to bid on it, which is
a new price. Wow.
I mean, This is my 3rd new home. And when we bought our first new home, like I said, you walked into the model. I saw which one I liked. I said, well, what's available? I said, okay, I want to put this house on this lot. And it was over. That's not what's happening now. They're saying, okay, this lot is open. This is the home that's going on this lot. Is this the model you want? Okay, great. Because that's the only home that's going to go on that lot. And tell us what you want to pay. That's what they're saying. They're not listing the price. Before the price was listed, now it's tell us what you want to pay. So it's got me a little irritated.
Really? It's tell us what you want to pay.
Tell us what you want to pay. Yeah. So it no longer is
if
it.
Your number is too low, then you just out.
You don't get it. Now the advertising says that the homes start here in this range, but not one home that they've listed yet or put out on the market has had a price on it, which is crazy. Now I spoke to the representative, and there was one lot specifically that I was considering because it's a great lot. It's got a great view. It's actually a premium lot. And, he said, well, this one is the minimum for this is 1.7, whatever it was. I was like, what? What happened to the mid 1.4s?
Right.
And it just so happens that this home, they've already chosen the options to go in it. So I guess because the options, or maybe it fell out, someone else didn't get it or whatever. I don't know what happened. But, yeah, it's quite a bit. The harvest is here and the time is now. Don't turn that dial. We have to take a break. We'll be right back. WVON.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I'm your host, Lynn Richardson, and we are creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and one dime at a time. And that means you. It's Monday Madness, and guess what? We still have to keep on moving. We still have to keep on going. We still have to keep on growing. Thank you so much for being here with me, Light. As I was sharing, I am not necessarily, I'm in a pickle right now. I feel like I'm between a rock and a hard place because I don't want to pay more for these homes, even though they are spectacular, than I have to pay. I'm not going to say I don't want to pay more than what they're worth because I know that the value is going to appreciate so rapidly. I'm cheap. I'm cheap. I'm cheap. We might as well go.
Frugal.
We might as well go on and tell the people I'm cheap.
Well, let me tell you something though. Lynn Richardson is not cheap because she will spend some money on some food, and some vacation.
Oh yeah, food and vacation. Oh, let me tell you, I have almost no limits when it comes. If I want to eat lobster, steak, whatever, I don't care what the price is. That's what I'm having. And yes, I enjoy vacations. But now, my vacations are actually business trips. And we go everywhere. But I will bargain shop a flight down to the Gucci. They say Gucci down to the socks. I will get a flight down to zero if I can. First of all, I'm going to find every point that I have available on my American Express, in the Delta Sky Miles, the United, whoever you are, whatever there are points, I'm going to go find all those points, and then I'm going to purchase the best first class flight that I can get, and then my hotel. You know, I'm going to stay at a 5-star hotel, but guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to stay at the 5-star hotel that is the least expensive. So yes, when we go to New York, I would love to stay at the Mandarin. But I don't have Mandarin money, okay? Okay.
You do. You're just not going to spend it.
I'm not going to spend it there. I'm going to stay at another 5-star hotel for about a third of the cost per night because I need to save some money for my food. If I spend all the money sleeping in the bed, no. So, but outside of those two things, and yes, I will bargain for those things. Like, I am cheap. You know, I am the discount queen, all the time. When I'm on the red carpet, what is my budget for my stylist? Would you please tell them?
Oh, I don't know.
$250. And I want some shoes too. $250.
A shoes, a purse, and an outfit.
And an outfit.
And if we leave it to Jason, the extraordinaire stylist, he will say your costume.
I don't have an issue with the word costume. You have an issue with the word costume, but I don't have an issue with the word costume. But
listen, my clothes are called wardrobe. Don't call my stuff a costume. Costumes are what you wear on
for Halloween.
Yeah. Or a theater play of The Wiz.
Yeah.
It's costume on.
Oh, my goodness.
No, it's wardrobe. And yes, he's able to, let me tell you, he's skilled at that. He's getting you a purse, some shoes, and an outfit for $250.
$250, and everybody thinks I'm crazy, but guess what? The harvest is here, and the time is now.
I'm financial expert Lynn Richardson. You may have seen me on Good Morning America giving financial advice. When you get my freedom package, you get the 21 days to financial freedom and how to start a home-based business. See you in class.
All right, it's Monday Madness. Somebody got smacked. We need to teach our kids how to do their taxes. Start in kindergarten.
Nike's giving away money.
Nike's giving away money, and we hope that it's going to also go towards financial literacy. People are buying houses, paying more than what they're worth, and Lynn Richardson is cheap.
Is that what we gained on Monday Madness? Well, this last little note, which we might all want to hear, is a group of House Democrats introduced a plan for monthly gas checks to families. Now, Lynn, I know you talk about you don't even drive at this point. You got a driver's license that is just packed away somewhere. You don't even use it because you are being driven. But there are lots of people out here driving, spending a lot of money on gas.
Yeah.
And so this, what they're presenting, this plan for monthly gas checks to families is, it's pertinent because people have to get to work. Americans are feeling the impact at the pump of Vladimir Putin's illegal invasion of Ukraine.
Let me tell you something. You can get your gas money back. If you start a home-based business, people are sleeping on this. You can get your gas money back if you have a home-based business. Because when you have a home-based business, every time you drive your car for business purposes, for activities in your home-based business, then it's a tax write-off. You save your receipts, you put them in an envelope, and this year alone, this will probably result in well over $6,000 or $7,000 in tax deductions. That means another $2,000 to $3,000 you will get back on your tax return, or $2,000 to $3,000. It will be $2,000 to $3,000 less that you will pay. Now, how do you do this? And I teach this in my class, how to start a home-based business. Everybody needs to stop, drop, and roll right now and listen to this. If you drive your car from your house to your job where you work at, It is not a tax write-off. The IRS says that's too bad. You got to eat that. But if you drive in your car and you drive, let's say, 2 blocks from where you work, and you have breakfast with someone, and you discuss business, you discuss activities in your home-based business. It can be a referral partner. It can be a consultant. It could be, a potential distributor, a new client. You are now 2 blocks from work, but guess what? That car ride is now tax deductible. See, we've got to learn the rules of the game, and we have to play the game by the rules. And I joke a lot. We have a lot of time, but when it comes to this, I am serious. I am dead serious. Everybody needs a home-based business. And when inflation starts to kick your butt, when wars and the wig is left in a crate somewhere and whatever, all of this stuff, you're missing tax deductions because we don't have the right strategy. But the harvest is here and the time is now. You have been listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, our favorite radio station. I want you to follow me on social media at Lynn Richardson. Follow this show at Lynn Millionaire. Go and get help at asklynn.org because I want to help you take it to the next level. Guess what? I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.